Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, what's up? Happy late Merry Christmas. I hope everyone had a beautiful Christmas yesterday. Um, Look, we over here, like, these aren't my pajamas. This is a cute little silky shirt, okay? It looks like I'm in pajamas, but I did get dressed for the show today. I did not get dressed yesterday at all. Yesterday was a beautiful, relaxing day with my family. The kids were grateful for their gifts. I was proud of myself for not going overboard or stressing myself out with gifts. So I am eternally grateful for this season, even though, it kind of didn't feel like Christmas, but we still have fun. We still brought the magic, and that's all that matters, right? All right, if you're tuning in, you're tuning in to Queen Green's Living, broadcasting here live on Rainier Avenue Radio. I am your host, Queen Bri, and soon we'll have our co-host, Christina, in the show. It's the day after Christmas, so we're a little behind today, okay? But that's all right because we're still gonna get the party started. Hey, Christina. Hey, hey, hey. I can't hear you. Uh-uh. Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Can hear you.
There you go. There we go. Got you. Hi,
I,
girl. Hey,
I
girl. Hey.
hey, I say you took the words right out of my mouth. Thank you for giving me grace.
Look, we all need a little grace. Everyone needs. Look, that's a word right there, grace. In 2024, I would love it if we all can give others grace because nobody is perfect, and we're all out here just trying to do what we can do and survive and have fun. So, how
Yep.
was your Christmas?
It was pretty cool. It was low key, you know. It's just me and my sister pretty much. I mean, I have two sisters, but the other one, she always works on Christmas, so but she's definitely invited. So it
Mhm.
was just us and the kids as usual. It was
Nice.
nice. Nice little spread.
Sometimes I love a big family dinner, but sometimes there is nothing wrong with a little low key where you're just hanging out with just you and yours and just having fun. Did you guys play any games?
No.
No, you just
No, we
chill.
started really late too because she had a headache and it was just really relaxed.
Listen, we saved ourselves a headache, and we do this every now and then,
Mhm.
where we give the kids the gifts that night before Christmas because we're already up. So this time it was like 12 o'clock at night. We was like, we didn't even wrap gifts this year because you know what? I'm not gonna lie, I bit off more than I can chew this year. And so I was behind. I was just tired and
Mhm.
burnt out. So we
Mhm.
gave them their gifts so that we could sleep in. And sleep in is what I did. And then I went to
Nice
the store.
plan.
Right. I went to the store. I didn't like we had our matching PJs on, and I don't know if I should say this because I don't want people to drag me, but you know what? I don't care. So we had our matching PJs on, and I didn't change to go to the store. And I was feeling like, dang, Brie, you didn't even get dressed or nothing. Then I seen other family members with their pajamas on, and I was like, okay, so this is a thing.
Oh my
nobody,
gosh.
nobody has time. No,
I do
uh,
not care about my kids wearing PJs to school. I just don't. And I wore
it,
uniforms for 7 years, so I don't know. I'm just total opposite. Um, did we do land acknowledgement?
oh no, we didn't do the land acknowledgement. Told y'all we a little behind. Um, I think I could do it by heart, but I don't want to mess up
Oh no, do
the
it. How
tribal's
was
name.
I?
I don't know the tribal name.
Dang,
Okay.
okay. That would be
Uh,
so impressive.
yes. Dang, now that I put myself on the spot, it didn't went out my head.
You could start it. Imma pull it up.
Uh, okay. We are going to open up with we already opened it up. We're going to do a land acknowledgement. Ooh, no, I forgot it. I was all practicing it before you got on the thing, and then I forgot. And then another thing, it's like I've been so relaxed, I didn't even charge my computer, so I am live from my phone today.
Oh, okay. That
Yeah,
must feel different.
it feels so
Um,
different,
you're
but it does give a
so
better vibe.
you're so organized and together. It's always impressive.
You think
Um,
so?
mhm.
That was a compliment, girl.
You just wore family PJs and felt bad about wearing them in public. Okay, land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that we are on the traditional land of the first people of Seattle, the Coast Salish past and present, and honor with Nisqually, Snoqualmie, and Muckleshoot tribes. We also acknowledge what has happened on this land to impact the lives of the Black community in Seattle due to redlining, the systemic and oppressive mechanism of anti Black racism enacted by the white leaders, politicians, business people, and others rob Black families of the opportunity to build and pass down generational wealth. To share your own story of home or land loss of Seattle, please contact us here at Clean Greens on behalf of Black Dollar Days Task Force King County Reparations Project, www.blackdollardaystaskforce.org or www.cleangreensfarmmarket.com. You can email or call us. Thank you.
Good job. Yes, yeah, good job.
So long.
Um, so okay, so we were past Christmas. Everybody was ready to be past Christmas. We are heading into our last week of the year. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling hopeful and trying not to think too much about you know, New Year's resolutions, but it just comes so naturally. It's just a season for
Can we talk
renewal.
about that for a minute? Can we
Yeah.
talk? Okay, no, finish your statement, and then we'll
The
talk
season?
about. No, I said finish your statement, and we'll talk about like
Mhm.
resolutions.
Okay. Yeah, it's just winter. It's the season for going in, indoors and inwards, like for me anyway, emotionally and spiritually, and so
Yeah,
it's you just think about change and what you can do better and how you can be stronger in the new year.
I like that. Like the winter is to go inward. I
It's
love
what the
that.
plants do.
Nice. Okay. Oh, you better relate that to the farm. But let's talk about New Year's resolutions because everybody
Okay.
always, I think that somehow social media and this culture have made us feel ashamed of liking to do New Year's resolutions and New Year, new me. But I think it's important to have those New Year's resolutions and those goals because
Mm,
if you have those goals set out in front of you and they're identified and you wrote them out and you're intentional about it, you are more likely to succeed in your goals than if you passively think of a goal or don't think of a goal and just wing it. You know what I mean? So I think
yeah,
it's important to have an. I mean, I used to didn't think so. I used to didn't think New Year's resolutions and goals were attainable or real, but it is definitely real. And I think that you guys, if you want to scream New Year me, new me, scream New Year, new me, because it will be a new year and new you, but it's up to you, not what others are telling you what you should and shouldn't think. So I just really wanted to
yeah, like
lay that
check
out there.
yourself on what's your source,
Yeah,
check yourself. Why do you want that, or why? Yeah, go
yeah,
inward
yeah,
and do some deep
yeah,
diving. And I like how you said, make the, you know, you said write it down, write it
yeah,
down, write the vision down and make it clear.
yeah.
What is the
That's
scripture?
Habakkuk 2. Let me.
Miss
I'm on my phone.
Karen, where you
Hey,
at?
Miss Kim.
I don't know
Um,
if she's watching. I'm just hoping.
Around,
Where's
it's
um
Habakkuk 2
Miss
something,
Annette?
right, Miss Annette? What's that scripture? Write it down, make it plain.
Yeah,
She's not paying attention. She's in.
make
Write
it
it down, make it plain. Write the vision down, make it plain.
right. And that goes
Well,
into like, is that manifesting?
yeah, it is manifesting. It's prayer. The thing about it is that and it's since look, you took it there, and you know me, and little minister here,
Do
huh?
it.
That's always right, and I was doubting myself. That's one thing. That's one resolution that I will not do this year is doubt myself because I didn't I say Habakkuk 2. It's Habakkuk 2:2
Okay.
because I knew it because it was one of my scriptures to remind myself to
Mm,
write it down, make it plain. And in the Bible, it talks about you can have what you need. All you have to do is ask. So with you writing down the vision and making it plain and taking it to God, you are manifesting, you are praying for it, and it will come true. But you have to work for it. Like I tell my kids, God is not a genie. He is not
mhm.
going to just make your wish come true. You have to work for it. The Bible says the man that don't work, don't what? Eat.
Yeah.
So any vision that you put down, any goals that you write down, you have to work for it. And
Mhm.
you have to press through, even when it still feels like it's not gonna happen, you have to just keep going. Like people talk about I have failed 1,001 times. 1,001 times. But guess what? I just keep getting back up and I keep figuring it out. I keep figuring out. Our pastor, Dr. Jeffrey, wrote a book and it talked about a lot of people who, if they would have given up, we wouldn't have a lot of things right now. So,
What is the
write the
title?
vision. The title of the book is The 11 Principles for Living, and you can find it on Amazon. The 11 Principles for Living. That, you guys, I think that going into the new year, if you can get that book and you read through that book through the year, like that book really saved my life during the pandemic. I'm not even just saying that because I'm related to him.
Mhm.
It really saved my life because it really put things in perspective of what we're going through. Like it talks about failure, making failure your stepping stone. It talks about staying focused, staying woke, staying healthy, and how to
Mhm.
be in community and how important it is to be in community. And
Mhm.
so, and I
That
know a
was
lot of
right
people
on
don't.
time 'cause there was so much isolation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So look, I have an extra copy. I'm gonna give you a copy and let's read it together and discuss.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right. You're
That could be
welcome.
the first book in the the group.
Yep. Oh, so and then another thing, me and Christina. Okay, or should I say me? Look, I'm all dragging Christina in it. We're gonna be
It's
we're gonna
fine.
start a women's group. We're gonna be meeting monthly via Zoom and sometimes in person. Like this first meeting, I want to do in person because I want to do a vision board. So we want to do a vision board.
Which
Hopefully
is right, making the vision plain. Yeah.
making the vision plain and putting it out there, a roadmap to what you want,
Very
what you envision. So yeah, like you said, it's important to write it down and create a roadmap. So you, when you write down the goals and when you write down the vision, it's there, right? So it's right there in your face. So now you could take the time to break them down into small steps to get there.
and
And
it
then,
I've never done a vision board. I know, like, um, my god sister would talk about, one that she did, in Alabama, but and it seemed really helpful for her, but I think it's gonna be helpful for me to have my goals, like, right in my face every day,
yep,
and that's gonna help keep me focused, kinda like
yep.
my new desk calendar.
I just love that you're using that desk calendar. But it's important. Like I'm learning the importance of like using my calendar and I'll be using the desk calendar, the phone calendar, all calendar so it can be ingrained. Because being organized and having your vision out there and organizing it, being organized is going to help you. And I love that Christina gave me my props, but I am not as organized as I may seem. Come to my house and you be like, girl, but I am trying to organize my home and organize my life so that I can press through those goals a lot faster instead of stressed out, being stuck, and figuring out where to start. Once
shoot,
you,
being late and unorganized is stressful in itself.
yeah,
You gotta remove the roadblocks, the
yeah. And that's why it's important. Like, so you write down your goals, right? You
yeah.
write down your goals, you break down the steps, and then you break them down into weekly things that you can do. So, like, let's say one of my goals is, so this year I'm a doer. Everybody laughs about how busy I am and how much I work. This coming year, I'm scaling back. I'm not going to be doing all that because I don't have time to give important to myself. I don't have time to make sure my house is in order. So with that goal, I will write
Wait,
down.
how did you so you realized that was making you off balance,
Yeah.
and so you, like, made an announcement? What did you say?
No, I didn't make an announcement yet. I just was talking to my,
Oh,
like,
okay.
make it like I
Okay, I
was
thought
going
you
in.
told your family, like, "I'm gonna
Oh,
be
oh, I did
doing."
tell my family. Oh,
You
I did
did?
tell my family. Yeah, like I went inward and I realized that I was stressed, depressed, not eating healthy, and not sleeping well.
Mhm.
And then that affects the people around me, right? And even though sometimes I pull it together, and nobody really on the outside knows what's going on. It's killing me slowly inside, right? And so I went inward and I was like, yes, Bri, you can do it, but what are you doing it for?
Mhm.
Who are you trying to prove yourself to? Is this something that you have to do or you need to do? And so I was really going inward with myself this
What you
past
mean?
couple of months.
Isn't that the same thing? Have to do, need to do.
Have to do, I mean, is it something you have to do and need to do? Like, you have to, let's see, how can I explain this? Like, I have to take care of my home. I need to take care of my home. I don't need to take on another project outside of my home to make me feel fulfilled.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
I hope that makes sense. I'm sorry. So that's what I meant. You have to do. Is it something you have to do? Is it something you need to do? Maybe I needed to rephrase that. Um,
Okay, thank you.
um, so, so with that being said, calming down, taking on too much, or let's just say, long story short, I need to say no more. So I have to write down no more, right? So on my goals, it will say no more. And then with that, I will write down my vision statement, my mission statement. Oh yeah, and your homegirl went to therapy. So me and my therapist, I'm one
Oh
of
my
those people
god.
now.
This is the second time today.
What
Ooh.
that somebody said it? Ooh, is God trying to tell you something, girl?
Oh,
It's
that's
really
already a want.
it's
Need.
very helpful. Yeah,
What'd you
it's for
say?
you.
Have
A
to do.
need, have to do,
It's a need.
need to do, have to do, need to do. And there's nothing wrong with that because it's really just like you just problem solving and talking it out with someone who's a professional and can help you see things differently. So
Yeah,
on
'cause
my
really
vision board,
nobody wants to really think of nobody, and that's not even right to dump your, stuff. I don't like talking about my problems to people. I feel like I'm dumping on them, and everybody has problems. So figure them out.
if you're just tuning in, you're tuning in live to Clean Greens Living, broadcasting here on Rainier Avenue Radio. It's your host, Queen Bri, co-host Christina Chambers. Um, with that being said, Christina, I think it's like two things. It's like when you're going through some things and you're talking to other people because it's important to get it out, right? And it's not as it's dumping when it becomes repetitive. You know what I mean? So if you keep saying the same thing over and over to a person, but you're
Mhm,
not doing anything to change that this issue or
mhm,
work on it, I consider that dumping. But when you come to someone and you really need to talk to them and get it out your mind, I don't think that that's dumping. But what I do advise people to do is ask them, do they have the capacity to hear you right now?
mhm,
Do you have the capacity to hear me? Because I need to get some things off my chest and I need a sound mind. Because a lot of times it's dumping when you don't ask that and you don't know what people are going through. Because there's a
mhm,
lot of times where my friends will call me and I will call them. We haven't even checked in with each other to see if this is a good time and we just dump on each other. That will be considered dumping. But if you say, do you have the mental capacity or do you have the time to hear me out real quick? And don't take it personal if they don't have that time because it's not. a lot of times we make these stories up in our head that if somebody don't have time right now, that they don't care, they don't want to listen. They literally just probably don't have that time right now, but they want to be there for you. So leave that room and that space for them to say, you know what, now is not a good time, but I can call you back and we can talk it out. Right?
Yeah, and I was thinking if, and then we gotta think about grace again. What if something happens and I'm not even
Yep.
in a mental state to be able to calm down and I just need to call my friend, like,
Yep.
"Oh my god, girl," like, who knows what
Yeah.
happened. So then you're definitely I hope you wouldn't be like, "Oh, how dare you not,
Oh,
respect
I
my,"
wouldn't. No, yeah. Yeah, no.
so
Yeah. No,
yeah,
but some
hopefully you
people,
call the
yeah.
right friend.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully you do call the right friend. And if you are in a circle, you know if you have the right friend or not. You know who you can and cannot call on.
Yeah.
Like if a friend called me right now and started dumping on me, I wouldn't go off on her. I would listen to her. And another thing that I've learned to do is when people come and dump, and I hate to say that word because it's not dumping. You just really
Vent?
just get it venting.
A nicer. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't want people to feel like they're dumping their problem. But sometimes people are dumping. Know the difference between dumping and venting and needed someone to talk to. Um, I've also learned when people give me their problems and they dump their stuff out of me, I used to be a fixer and I used to want to fix everything and help them and fix the problem, which clash and cause problems between me and my friends. And then it also caused problems with my internal self because then I started to internalize that I can't fix their problem and I can't help them, which then made me feel like, dang, what am I here for? So what I've
Mm.
learned to
Like
do
you're
is when
not a
my
good
friend,
friend.
huh?
Like you're not a good friend.
Yeah. And so what I've learned to do is when people come talk to me and vent to me and even if they're dumping or they're venting, I've learned to listen. First of all, I've learned to ask, do you want, and that's a question that we all got to ask too. Do you want me to just listen or do you want advice? Do you want me to listen or do you want advice? That is very important to ask because, again, I've gotten in trouble with my friends if I just immediately shooting off with advice, and that's not what they want. They just want a listening ear. So I've gotten good at that. Another thing that I do is once I'm done talking to them, and if it's so heavy, I pray. I give it
Mm.
up to God because, like, there's nothing I can do. So, Lord, please, I pray for my friend. Like, not just say you're in my prayers. I actually now take that moment and pray for people. I just do it, and that helps me. It helps lift the load, and then I know God got them, but
Mhm.
they got to know God got them too, and they got to hear the signs. Like the more I know God got me, I see Him in real time, in real life, every day, and it's just magical thing that yeah. So that's
Hmm.
what I do when people talk to me. Yeah,
Yeah. You're describing your personal relationship. That's very beautiful.
thank you. Yeah, it was a journey, but it's like once you once you get on that
No
road
overnight
and
success.
no
Mm.
overnight success. It was a journey, but like when you really you like we all have this, we know God is real, right? But sometimes we know God is real, but we're all still questioning because we look at others. But that's when you do that thing that you say you go inward because that's what the enemy wants us to do. He wants us to look at others so that we can be
Right.
like, oh well, they're doing it, so I can do it, or
Right.
they don't care. You know
Of
what I'm
course,
saying?
there's always bad representation. There's always
Always.
fence straddlers,
Mm, yep.
but I mean, yeah, you're right. And we're not even supposed to judge
With
others
Christ.
walk, right.
Yeah. Because it's
Um,
different for everybody.
mhm,
It's different for everybody.
right.
That's why you are to be led by the Spirit. And okay, I'm gonna stop preaching to y'all. But maybe that's what we need going into this new year. New year, new us.
Yeah,
Okay. I
it's
have something
funny.
else.
Your
Uh-huh.
your kids were like your kids are at a stage. I remember being, I think, at that crossroads between Santa and Jesus. You're like
Yes.
learning the
Well,
truth.
well, you know what? As a person that goes to church, I let my kids believe because what's the harm in believing in the magic of Santa, right? But once they got older and they start asking questions, I wouldn't lie to them. I'm like, well, what do you feel? How do you feel about it? And then let them guide the story, and then we'll start talking about it. But this year, Coriel was like, I don't believe. He's like, I don't believe, but I want to keep the magic. So he would say Santa,
Yeah.
and then one thing he said, girl, I was blown away that he said this. He was like,
Why?
yeah, the look, the struggle
Um,
between Santa and Jesus. But you know what
Look
Coriel
at
said? He's like,
Tree. Mm.
he was like, you know what, Santa actually is real because Santa can be Jesus and his angels are his elves. And he said that all on his own, like Coriel, that's a little minister in the making. That's a little preacher in the making. Um, but he
Okay.
came up with that on his own. Like, we
Terrible.
didn't have that conversation. But it is true. Jesus is Santa. Like, he provides for your family to be able to get the things that you get for Christmas. And his angels are your elves. They're there to help you. They're there to show you the way. They're there to assist Jesus
Oh, I see a
and
little
helping your family. And
bit.
this year I didn't I used to go crazy with the presents. But this year I got things that they specifically asked for, and it's all things that they need, want, and that can contribute to their future. Like
Hmm.
Zoe wanted a candle maker. Christian wanted a guitar. Coriel, of course, he still ate. He had toys, but he wanted a water bottle, which inspires him to drink more water. So it's just like
Did
stuff
he
like
want a
that. Like,
Stanley?
huh?
Did he want a Stanley?
No, he wanted a circle. It's a bottled water where you
Uh,
put it in there and it makes the water flavored. You can
oh,
get it at Fred Meyer, Walmart. It's just a water bottle and it's like flavored in there. And you can get like 20 bottles of flavor for each packet.
oh, okay. It's not a capsule or anything expensive.
Yeah. Well, it's like a capsule inside of a tube. I'll show you when I see you.
Okay. Oh,
But yeah,
cool.
like
Yeah,
they,
those
they
are
asked
very
for,
practical. My kids, yeah, same thing. They just wanted like one thing each, and it wasn't even very expensive.
that's nice. And I
Yeah.
seen one person giving their kids all this stuff, and I was like, I am not about to get caught up in that hype. Um, but I got my kids what they need that will help their future. All right, guys, that's time. Remember to write the goals down, create the plan, create the roadmap. If you guys want to join our sister circle, please let me know. You can email us at blackdollarcleangreens@gmail.com, or you can find me on Facebook or find us on Instagram. All right, guys. Up next, Phil AM. Happy, yeah, can't
Day.
even get it out. Right. Happy day.
Happy day.